My name is Lucas. Okay, there's gonna be a lot of ambient noise in the background because I live in a very busy neighborhood and in a very small apartment. So you're probably gonna be hearing my twin brother in the background. So I just wanted to preference that ahead of time. It's gonna be a lot of background noise. He's playing a game and you can hear him in the background. Anyways, I'm making this video to show you guys how I'm 28 years old and I am launching my first clothing brand. I have started this about almost a year ago and it's almost done, and we're launching sometime beginning of the next year, which is only a month and a half from now because it's mid-December and I want to release it sometime the end of January, and I'm going to show you guys the whole process of the way I'm going about releasing my clothing brand. But not just that, I'm gonna give you guys all the information that I said basically in the title of this video, which is basically me saying I released a clothing brand in 2024, and I'm gonna show you guys how I actually did that. But to show you guys the whole entire process, that would take many hours and many videos. But just in this one video alone, I could definitely get you started, and you're gonna know just about where to go from A all the way to Z to start a clothing brand, where you're going to source those materials, how much is this going to cost, and how do you start, and how do you finish, how do you actually get a drop and release a website and do the whole entire process from A to Z. I'm going to tell you a little bit of all that stuff in this video, but short form factor, I cannot tell you guys all the specifics in one video. But this is the first YouTube video for my channel, so let's move on with that. Starting from the beginning, if you're going to be making a clothing brand, come up with some sort of idea of what emotion you want to bring to the table and what kind of style you want to bring when making this clothing brand. It's actually just as simple as that. Jumping into my brand and what I wanted to do with it. I wanted to make a brand that I personally would want to wear every day. And me personally, when I put on clothes every single day, I hate the idea of trying to map out what I want to wear for the day. It's kind of alternative. It's definitely not innovative. This is something that's already been created before. I just wanted to execute on a type of fashion that's already been out there for many years and just execute on that. And then, put my brand behind it. So this is the aesthetic I wanted. Let's start off with, I think the core of what I just said represents that is the shirts. The long sleeve shirts really do. This, I would definitely say, kind of core represents the brand. This shirt right here, gray, muted down colors, relaxed fit, long sleeve. Here is the sleeves. There is no ribs on this, you guys, by the way. So this will not hug your wrist, which I love. I hate that. This is ripped as well right here, and this is ripped right here on this part of the sleeve. So the only part that's actually ripped is the collar. This collar is super wide set. I will actually put on the other sample, which is the real one that I'm actually going to be releasing, which doesn't have the logo right here, but in the back. I'll show you guys that right now. All right, I am back wearing the shirt. My hair got messed up. Who gives a shit? Anyways, here it is. If you can see the collar, it is wide, but not too wide. It's not gonna hang down and just like show your whole collarbones and like be like one of those funny neck shirts. It is relaxed fit. I am not a big guy, so obviously I'm not really feeling it out. This is a size medium. Not too long right here, guys. I wouldn't call it cropped. I think it would just be normal length, right? And then, as you can see, these are the ones we're releasing. The logo is not in the front. It is only in the back. I'm trying to like lean down for the camera. My camera is set up for me sitting down in my chair. Anyways, oh yeah, and then the fit right here, the material, this is a waffle type of knit. And this is extremely thick. Heavyweight material. I would definitely call this a heavyweight whole shirt slash long sleeve combo. It is so damn comfortable. I love it so much. I've seen, stuff like this made for many years. So another thing I want to say about the brand is we're not innovative. We're not original whatsoever. I'm just honing in on a style that's already known and loved by many people and just trying to execute on it I don't know about you guys. I definitely do think what I'm going for with the brand, I'm hitting it right on the mark, like with this shirt itself. And then the sweats, kind of new school because I do notice that people are wearing extremely baggy clothes for the recent years. So I definitely wanted to do that with a pair of sweats, but still give the same aesthetic that I'm already doing with the other parts of my brand with the other pieces. So here are the sweats. I'm gonna show you guys that right now. Boom. Here's this super thick um, waistline right here. Very thick, heavyweight sweats. Check them out, you guys. Similar coloring as my shirt. So I'm definitely gonna be selling this and marketing them not together. As in, I'm not gonna be wearing like when I do ads, this shirt will be worn with a different type of pant, and then this sweat will be worn without this shirt combo. You don't want to wear these together because it's gray on gray, and also the grays are kind of conflicted in the sense of you see this has kind of like some multicolor design. There's not like a jet black and a light gray. It's kind of like a little bit of every kind of grayish black color in there, and kind of with the sweats as well, they kind of have like that little different discoloring going on as well. I like them because they look not too new looking, and it looks very kind of worn in. I kind of like the worn in effect, and it more going in with the style of just like relaxed chill, not trying so hard. Anyways, these are the sweats. I love them a lot. Here is the logo right here. It is embroidered in, but I do have it kind of higher up on the sweats. So what that means is when you're wearing a shirt, sweater, or whatever, your shirt may most likely cover that part and you may not see the brand, which is good. You don't need to see my logo everywhere. It doesn't need to be like super cheesy. Growing up, there was this brand called Echo Limited. I reference that all the time in the sense of what not to do with the brand. But you know, some brands could still effectively get away with that, but I'm not going to do that with my brand. I do not want to throw my brand all over my clothes, all cheesy and all huge. I don't want to look like a walking billboard personally, and with my own brand, I don't want to do that either. So even though this is big, it doesn't really matter. Your clothes will cover it. But if you wear a cropped shirt, this will definitely show. Maybe you do want to show off that awesome embroidery. And same thing like the long sleeves. Boom. No ribbed detail. Look at that. It's cut. It's distressed. It is not tight around your body, like tight around your wrist if you had the ribs there, or tight around your waist. No, it's loose. It's relaxed. It is damn comfortable. I really love these sweats. And mind you, this did take quite a bit of time with all the sampling and manufacturers and trying to get like what I wanted, because mind you guys, when you guys message these manufacturers, like I showed you where to find these manufacturers, uh, the sample may not come out the way you want it, so you may need to find another manufacturer. It is okay. It's part of the process, but when you find something you like, it's amazing because now you have somebody that's gonna take care of you and your company, right? As in they're gonna back all your products. They're gonna be making your products, and they're very dependable companies. A lot of these people have been manufacturers for over 15 years, so you kind of don't have to worry, man. You just need to worry about getting there in the first place of like a finished sample that you like, that you actually want to use for your brand. Last but not least, I came up with something last second during this whole drop before we release, and I wanted to release something of cold weather type, so I released a hoodie. This is giving a little bit of a different aesthetic, but it's still muted colors, as in it's dark, it's black, it's simple. There's not too much going on here. It is very, very heavy. It's way heavier than my sweats. It's heavier than the shirt, and these are already considered heavyweight. This thing is ridiculous. I can't explain how thick this material is, but it feels like almost like it feels like a quarter inch thick, like almost half an inch thick at some parts, because it's just so heavyweight. Very deep ribbed sewing. I don't know what you would call this, but it's kind of ribbed, right? This ribbed material. It is a hoodie. It is cropped in the sense of it's gonna be a cropped fit on the waistline, It'll be right at your waistline of your pants, shorts, whatever, and long sleeves. These sleeves, you'll kind of find yourself doing a little bit of this. They'll hang over slightly, and your fingers will come out like right about there. That's kind of like the aesthetic it's fitting. Oh, and this one is not bigger fit like the shirt and the sweats. This one is actually fitted. I am not gonna say it's skin tight, but it's definitely on the smaller side. It's not giving the same relaxed fit as the other two pieces. Okay, so when I originally started this brand, I wanted to come up with something that was alternative, punk, relaxed, chill, everyday clothes. Yes, but also I wanted to do jewelry, and I've had many issues with buying jewelry in the past of nothing wrong with them. I just ended up not loving the pieces, the rings, the pendants, just all of it. I just got kind of worn out and I wanted something different. Something kind of like cute, and I don't really know how to explain it, but this little character right here, this is a resin pendant. I released this in pink and black for the resin and solid silver for the silver one. This is kind of like our mascot for my brand. And what I wanted for the brand was I wanted to have girls be wearing stuff from our brand. I wanted guys to be wearing stuff from our brand. I wanted it to be a very unisex brand. I wanted cute factor. I wanted punk factor. I wanted alternative factor. And I think this kind of resembles it because you have the cute form factor from a bunny, but then this bunny has vampire-esque teeth. You can't really see it here, but you'll be able to see it on like the videos and on my social media. And then it has these wings. I created this through Blender. It's a 3D rendered, not 3D. It's a 3D designed program. You could go on there and you could create 3D art. You could use it for any type of stuff. You doesn't necessarily even have to be art. Blender is used for even animation. It is used for 2D artists. It's used for all kinds of things. I came into the whole Blender thing with my intention of I wanted to create jewelry, and that's where I kind of found myself getting into Blender in the first place, was because I wanted to create jewelry for my brand. So my brand kind of rooted from clothing and from wanting to make jewelry. So now here I am making clothing and jewelry. Oh, and no, I didn't just design this little guy on some program. I also have resin printers. They're actually back there. They're called Alagoo printers. I only use the smaller one to the right of it. I don't really need to show you that, but basically I use a resin printer after creating these characters on the Blender program. And then once I came up with the one that I was happy with, as in like the size and the details, then I basically sent that one to the manufacturer, the file, the Blender file. It's an FBX file to be specific. And when they get those files, that's something that they can use to create products for you. As in, this is something they created. It is solid resin. And then something also they created. This is 3D still printed. This is a still printer. Never heard of them until I started talking to a lot of manufacturers. This is another piece I do want to release, but depending on if people even want to buy it. This one's a very cool aesthetic. It is the definition of muted colors. It is like this death gray. Like there is no soul in this one. There is no color. All the color is gone. It's not as smooth surface as other ones. It actually has some porous material aesthetic to it. Kind of looks like moon texture. It's very hard because it's literally metal. This is badass, to be completely honest. I kind of want to release it just because. Then we have the solid silver one. This is going to be the most expensive piece because it's literally solid silver. It's very heavy. It's not tiny, you guys. It's kind of big, this jewelry pendant. Yeah, it's a pretty solid little piece of jewelry. So now I told you guys you're going to come up with the logo and you're going to come up with the style of clothes. So let's say you know what kind of clothes, like the type of clothes you're looking for, and you know the logo. You came up with the logo, you got it designed. Maybe, and this is the funny part too, maybe you can't even come up with the logo yourself, but you could come up with a name. Well, you could go to Fiverr. I do not need to show you guys that right now because that is extremely too simple. There's no reason to show you guys that. But Fiverr, they have artists that you can commission to do just about anything in the art space. You pay them, they could get a logo, and if you like that for your clothing brand, you can use that for your actual like website and everything. And then as far as clothing design, that's all up to you. If you're really great at manufacturing clothes from the ground up, and then you could send those actual sewn models, you could send those to those manufacturers and they could give you exactly what you want down to the exact detail that you gave them. But let's just say you don't know what the hell you're doing, but you know the aesthetic you want. Well, you could ask them to change stuff and modify on the clothes that you like from them. So let's say we're gonna jump into my screen capture, and from here I'm gonna show you guys how I find manufacturers. Why not show you guys a little bit? I'm gonna go on this website. I'm not gonna give you guys every single manufacturer that I use personally, but I'm already giving you guys all the sauce that you're gonna need right here. So this is a website called Alibaba. You could actually download this on your phone. It's super easy. You could download on your phone and like get the app, and you could use that same login and then go on the website on your computer or whatever. And this is where you're gonna search for products for your company. This is not just for clothing though, you guys could use it for jewelry. You guys could use it for they make everything here. So find what you're gonna want to like get made for your clothing brand. So let's just say, let's look up sweaters, and it's as simple as that. And what you're gonna find is a bunch of manufacturers are basically posting their stuff, and it's kind of ads for their stuff that they make, and they're all basically competing against each other on this website to be the manufacturer for you guys, the customer out there, that they want you to make a brand with them so that when your brand becomes successful, they're your manufacturer. I mean, they could make a lot of business off of you, and they help you, and they help themselves all at the same time. Everyone's helping each other here. So here are these ads right here getting posted. They're not actually ads. I'm just calling them that because technically all these are manufacturers posts right here, and they're showing off their clothes and the stuff that they can make, right? And you could be more specific. I just put sweater. Oh my god, I typed in sweaters. I wasn't even okay. Now let's type in sweater actually. Okay, now that we actually type in sweater, you could see right here as I scroll. You don't need to see everything too specifically, but it's actually just that simple. You're gonna scroll around, and a lot of this stuff, people could just make brands right off the back from it. You could literally click any of these manufacturers. So let's say, oh, I like this one right here. Obviously, you're not gonna be able to copy the exact artwork. They won't do that for you because I mean, this is somebody else's brand that they worked with, and they're posting that customer's brand on their page. Now that I want to look at this, let me see. Boom. Okay, so now that we're here, now this is as simple as it gets for trying to get your clothing brand backed by a manufacturer, so you could actually like produce clothes so that you can sell. You just go down to here, send inquiry. This is basically just gonna be like one of your first messages saying, hey, I like your guys' stuff. Can you guys do this, this, and this with it? And what you're gonna do is request a sample. All these places will do samples, but it will only be one. They don't like to sell a bunch of samples because they're in the business of making money, right? And they're not going to make a lot of money if they sell 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 pieces all the time. So they'll allow you to make a sample. And if you want another sample, it's going to have to be something completely different for them to give you another sample. They want you to get a nice sample, you like it, and then they want you to place a huge order with them so they can make a ton of money. And obviously you want to make a ton of money too, right? So what you're going to do is you're going to just scavenge through this website, find the clothes that you like, and let's say you don't know how to cut and sew and create something from the ground up, but you like what they already make. You could just get their stuff simplistic and just throw your brand right on top of it. It's not that big of a deal. Most clothing brands already do this, you guys. And I'm definitely not going to say that the quality is terrible with this website because it's not. These manufacturers produce clothes for the biggest clothing brands in the world. Many brands that you guys know and love that are in the mall for many years since you were growing up till now. They're backed by a lot of these manufacturers over here on this website. So the quality is there. Obviously, not everything is quality on this website. So you're gonna have to search and find quality like blinks and samples, and they're gonna send these samples very quickly. You could get them as quick as like 2 weeks. Sometimes even under 2 weeks, you get a sample that quick. Yes, they'll make you pay extra for shipping, as in you can get this by air or you can get this by ship. Like they will literally ship this across the sea. I don't recommend that because it's like 2 months if you want to do that type of shipping to save X amount of money. It's really not worth it. Just pay for the air shipping. You'll get it a lot quicker. I'm just giving you guys all sauce because who cares? I've already scavenged YouTube just to give myself kind of like a little briefing on where I should start if I want to make a YouTube video like this on my YouTube channel that I just created. So much people are already giving away all their information. I don't need to gatekeep because it's already not gatekept. Everything is there on the internet now. A few years ago, not as much information was out, but I think this stuff is so common now that we've gone to a point where everything is just out there, and if you want to do it, just do it. There's no reason to not. Just like put yourself out there and commit to this clothing brand. Now let's move into the next step. I'm gonna show you guys my website. All right, guys. So you found the name you wanted, and maybe you didn't even like make the logo yourself. You found it on Fiverr and you paid someone to do it. Okay, 2, now you found the aesthetic you wanted, and you found the manufacturers, and you like the samples you've gotten, and now you have your finished t-shirt, your sweater, whatever. You have that finish. It's in your hand. Well, now you're gonna need to sell it on some sort of website, right? We're just gonna go to Shopify. It's honestly one of the most main used website platforms to sell for e-commerce. So that's what I use myself. I've used these Shopify websites quite a bit in the past. They're very, very easy to use. Here is the website. Everything's kind of cropped over to the side of my video because I have a green screen right here and it's just blocking a bunch of the background. You guys don't need to see too much of it anyways, but I'm gonna give you guys a quick reference. This is the website right now. Let me go to cell phone perspective because that's how it, okay, so this is my website. I worked on it for a good little minute. I'm pretty happy with it. No, it is not finished yet, but it's pretty darn good looking so far. This is a paid I forgot what it's called, but it's a paid theme. Yes, they're called themes. So if you go on Shopify, they have free themes and then they have paid themes. I paid for the paid theme because it gives me more customizable options so that I could like put more of my 3D rendered Blender art that I used to make the brand in the first place. I get to show that off on the website, and it kind of elevates the whole brand, I guess, or the emotion you get when you see this. I think it looks pretty cool. So when you start at the top, you're gonna see my logo is at the top, and then we just put pendants, and then here's a 3D render of my pendants just rotating 360, blah blah blah. Super simple. And then you could go shop now button right here, and then here is my clothing. I 3D rendered my own character. You're gonna see her on my social media. It's an own character that I animated and completely created from top to bottom, trying to create the aesthetic of the brand that I want. So she looks really cool. Here's the video. I do not know why it's not playing. It should be on autoplay, but let me try to play that really quick. There she is. I have been working more on the animation, so I'm gonna have other animations moving forward in the future. That's her wearing our long sleeve shirt and the Copium baggy sweats. Pretty cool stuff, man. Blender will honestly save your life and help you in the creative aspect of trying to bring something different to the table. I'm not gonna say my brand is super unique because it absolutely isn't, but I am nailing the aesthetic that I exactly wanted for my brand. Very chill, muted colors, relaxed fit. Just that's the style I wanted. You could take it into your own opinion and say what you think about my brand. So we're gonna be releasing very soon. Very, very excited. Anyways, you keep scrolling. Here is the pendants. You can see them one by one, And boom, that's already the end of the website. It's super simple. I did not finish it yet. I still need to add the shirts on there. I still need to add the sweats on there. I still need to add the sweater I showed you guys earlier. But for now, that's pretty much the website. Okay, so cool. You guys got your clothes, you found your manufacturer, you got your logo, you got a website done. Okay, last but very much not least, you guys are gonna need to find a way to advertise your clothing brand, because obviously no one knows who you are. So you need to show them who you are, and how you're going to do that is you're going to get yourself out there. You're going to put yourself on every social media possible, to be completely honest, but stuff that's really relevant to your brand. So Instagram is going to cover every base for relevancy for clothing brands. And then TikTok especially as well. I don't know how longer TikTok is going to be out though. I've heard they're going to be banning it sometime in the early next year. Anyways, while it's still live, why not post on that social media, because it's absolutely amazing. There's a lot of creators that I've seen get a lot of following in a very short amount of time, just from being simply consistent. You know, they just show up every single day, and surely they just grow over time very quickly, you know. And that's just basically where you're gonna start yourself. Is you're gonna post on TikTok, you're gonna post on Instagram. And I'm telling you guys that from the perspective of, it's just that simple. But let's say you do have money. You're going to do exactly what I'm already telling you. You're just going to be doing ads, as in you're going to do paid ads. You're going to create very legit, professional looking ads that look very creative and just really showing off your product. And then you're going to use those as actual paid ads on TikTok and on Instagram. I'm not going to show you guys exactly how to do that, because this video wasn't meant to break down everything to exact detail, but this is actually everything you need to do to make a clothing brand. It really is that simple. I did see this YouTuber recently. He posted some videos saying, don't do it if you want to make money. It's an absolute failure. That's an absolute lie. It's very simple. I actually did have a clothing brand in the past. It was very successful in a very short amount of time, and the only reason I didn't keep making money is because I just stopped like working on the brand. I stopped posting, I stopped making drops. That's it. It died because I killed it, not because it wasn't successful and I couldn't get it to be successful. No, the brand died because I killed the brand, and I moved on, and I wasn't doing clothing for a good minute, for like at least 3 years. Anyways, we're back and we're making a new clothing brand, and something I very much love to help you get more customers, because people just like looking at stuff that looks pretty or nice or aesthetic, whatever. Because you could show this stuff off on your social media, as in you guys could do fake unboxings of your products. So as in, get your brand and put it on the product packaging. Obviously, you're going to want to make custom packaging, especially if you're doing jewelry like me. I am doing jewelry, so I do have custom jewelry boxes made for my brand. Here it is. It's just like this really, it's actually, you could fill it, which is pretty cool. It's just, I don't know what they did. It's some type of inkjet printer on there, very thick ink on there, and then a simple slide out box. And it just has a foam insert. I had them not add any of the extra stuff, because I actually got other stuff that was custom made for my brand. So let me show you guys that. Here we are. So when you open up the jewelry bag, jewelry box that slides out, I kind of like it, you know, it's like a little drawer, very simple. This will be holding the jewelry on the inside of your purchase. Cool, it's holding it upside down. There's my Copium logo / text, whatever. Once again, inside, on my product packaging, this is kind of like a cloth linen looking little jewelry bag. There was a jewelry that my dad got me a long time ago. It was like a few Christmases ago, and they had something similar to this, and I love the aesthetic of it, and I totally copied them. Theirs looks, you know, something of the sort of like this, but you know, it's kind of like the same thing. They did some type of like linen type of bag, and it had this kind of color to it. I loved it, and I was like, I want to put that with my brand. And here we are. I did that. Like, it's just that simple. You guys, you just go on the website. You can see it right behind my head. You go on there, whatever you want. They'll be able to make it for you. Oh, and by the way, they do upcharge for the samples initially, but that's only because you're doing a one-time sample at that moment. But when you do minimum order quantities, which are between like 30 to 150 pieces, depending on what you're buying, the cost per item will be extremely cheaper than that first sample cost. So I do have these when you do order the jewelry. And then I have this. I have other bags as well, which I'll show you right now. These bags are for specifically jewelry purchases because, I mean, they hold the jewelry box just perfectly, and then I have the brand on there. It's just another way to elevate your brand. You all the details matter. I really do believe they do, because when I get stuff, because I mean, we're all consumers to some point, right? We all like to consume some type of like clothes or whatever it is that is your fixation on stuff. But this matters, man, because when I get really cool purchases and I'm already excited about the product in the first place, if the product packaging is cool too, it just makes me think that the item's more special, even though it absolutely is not. It just gives me good vibes. So like, I got that for the vibes and the aesthetics, and it just makes you elevated on your brand. It does look, it gives you a better like taste in your mouth when you see the product, I guess, right? Okay, so now moving on from that, we have these right here. So these will carry some other stuff. I didn't really have an exact plan with these, but they're nice. They're zipper packaging bags. It's kind of like a frosted matte finish, and then same thing, just the brand is on the outside. Very cool stuff. Okay, last but not least for packaging. Now I'm just showing off at this point, but I mean, why not? Because I mean, it's my YouTube channel. I'm showing you guys how to make a clothing brand. I could show off, okay? Anyways, here is the big clothing bags. It will not have this on both sides. This is a misprint by them. They will mess up sometimes, guys. It's just part of it. I mean, it's humans making it. Human error, you guys. Who cares? It's not that big of a deal. See, this is a misprint right here. I think there was only like a few misprints out of like hundreds of bags purchased. Okay, here is the black pendant, or he's kind of like my mascot for my brand. And then here is the copium text on the other side. And the pink ones are just the same too, like just the pink character, that on the other side of the bag. It's just packaging bags. I just wanted to make people feel more special when they see the package arrive. Okay, so I've showed you guys my shirt, my sweater, my sweats. I showed you guys my jewelry, my product packaging, but I forgot to show you guys one more thing. I do make plushies. Dude, this website is amazing. I showed you guys Alibaba. They also make stuff like this. This is my original sample. It doesn't have the copium text on here, but I do have a giant box of plushies, literally 100 of them. So here's the plushies that I will be selling, but most of them I will be giving away. So that's a little copium text on the side. These are the plushies. Here's the original sample. It looks fucking awesome. I think it's absolutely adorable. It's exactly the character, but you know, it's not identical like eyes and eyebrows to the 3D rendered, but you know, it's a plushie. I'm not gonna make everything exactly the same. I kept this on here. You see this, guys? It has a jewelry loop, as in like, you know, like jewelry pendants have a loop on them. Well, I kept the loop on the plushie because I don't know why, but something was telling me you got to keep it on there, because what if, I know a lot of people, everyone has plushies and they lay on the ground or against the wall, or they're just all stacked like a fucking mountain on the side of their room, right? This one could hang, and it should hang because technically it has wings, right? It's a little vampire bunny. So if this little guy has wings, why shouldn't he be hung up somewhere in your room? How are you gonna hang it up? That's up to you. I don't have an idea of exactly how you're gonna do that, but the option is there now because there is a freaking loop to hold the son of a bitch. most important thing, I think, or one of the most important things to this whole clothing, and then if you want to get into this, how much did this all cost? I'm going to give you a rough estimate of how much everything cost for me. But before we go into that, I'm going to tell you the best plan of how to create a clothing brand and go about it the cheapest way so that it becomes very doable. Like any of you guys watching this will be capable of doing this at some time in the near future, potentially. Okay, so clothing samples, if you're going to be getting t-shirts, sweats, sweaters, you're looking at a sample cost with shipping anywhere from $80 to $150 is on average of what you're going to pay for a one-piece sample. But what you do with that sample is amazing, you guys. You get that sample, you don't buy any more. You get that sample, you make your website, you make your social media, you make your whole brand, you make everything look all legit. And then what you do from there is with that one sample is you wear it, your friend wears it, an influencer wears it. Everybody fucking wears that sample. I know it's gross. You guys are all sharing that one sample, but you're using it to market, right? And you don't have a bunch of money. So why are you going to buy a bunch of product that you don't even know if you're going to sell, right? So that's why you use that sample and you recycle it with pictures from all your friends and stuff, right? Or if you have a bunch of money, maybe you have money to pay influencers to wear it, then you do that. So then that's the most effective way to make that extremely cheap. So like I was saying, you guys, a sample's only gonna cost you like roughly 50 to 150-ish per piece. And if you're only releasing like 3 pieces of clothing, which you should not release like 20 pieces into a brand new clothing brand. Focus on making something exactly the way you want it and only release a few. That's just a good little recommendation when starting a new clothing brand. Anyways, though, let's say you did 3 pieces and they're all the most expensive. Every piece was $150 cost a sample. Okay, so now you're at like $450. That's not realistic. It's most likely gonna be like $250, $300 for your 3 samples, right? That you ended up liking and you want to use as a brand. So now you're at $300. Now you need to get a Shopify website. That's roughly $40 a month once you go live. So now you're only around that much amount of money. And social media is free. TikTok is free. Instagram is free. And let's say you didn't know how to make a clothing brand logo and you went to Fiverr. Logos you can get as cheap as $20. I recommend spending a little bit more money because if you want something very specific and very nice and exactly what you're looking for, you might have to spend around like $150. It could get pretty pricey. But let's say you spend $150 on your logo because you don't know how to make one yourself. And then you went to these manufacturers in Alibaba and you spent $300 there. And you just happened to get lucky and all the samples you got were actually of good quality. So that's $300. You're at $150, $300, $450. And then Shopify was, I told you guys, $40 a month. You're at $500-ish. And you literally have a clothing brand now. Don't let anybody on the internet tell you it's too hard, it's this or that. No, it's actually ridiculously simple. Those are not my costs though, because I got so many samples until I liked what I liked. But that's me being extremely picky. And what was actually the worst of the sample processing was, I would say the jewelry. The jewelry I kind of went through hell and back with because I wanted something so specific, and to get that, I had to reach a lot of manufacturers and get a lot of samples from different manufacturers to get that. But if you did click on this video just for clothing, clothing is extremely simple, you guys, and it's actually very cheap. And to get started, it's not very hard. Oh, and I know it sounds terrible, but if you don't know what the hell you're doing, you could always pay someone to do it. I didn't do that. I did everything myself when it comes to the creative process of creating my logo, the whole like characters, the jewelry pendants. I literally designed everything. But if you cannot, just go to Fiverr, go to, find artists online, and they can do a lot of your stuff, and then you can start there. It's going to cost more if you don't know how to do a lot of this stuff, but it's not going to cost that much more, to be completely honest. And for me personally, I think I spent mostly more time than money, if anything, because it takes a lot of time to do 3D art in Blender, especially because I was a new 3D Blender artist. So for me to create this brand from the ground up, it was an absolute hellfire because it was very stressful trying to become a new 3D artist in the whole world of 3D rendering. And with the task of saying, hey, I want to 3D render on Blender, create actual jewelry that I'm gonna sell in person and like on the internet, and actually animate characters like I showed you guys earlier on my website. It is a lot of work. But anyways, if you guys didn't make it this far, please like and subscribe. Oh yeah, and something really, really awesome. We're going to be doing giveaways once I go live very soon on my social media, talking about how I actually received a lot of my launch, as in these shirts, the sweats, and the jewelry. I have plenty of plushies already. So right now, if you guys did stay this far in the video, please like, subscribe, comment down below. I will send some viewers some free plushies. I don't know if you guys want some free plushies. I'll send a viewer or two or even three. If I get a bunch of views, I'll send even more plushies. I don't know, but I'll be definitely sending viewers in the comment section if you guys like. Like, subscribe, and comment down below. And if you want to just say plushie, and I will send you a plushie. I have a shit ton of plushies. I'll be giving these away and continuously do that. So anyways, see you guys later. My name is Lucas. Thanks for making it this far. Bye.